Alright, so we're back and looks like where we left off was where she'd been just hit in the head and now she's waking up in the bed. So I guess, like I said, I guess she actually doesn't die, but that probably does explain how she gets that mean scar on the back of her head. Looks like Aiden's still chilling around with her. For me, this is an interesting moment because, well, prior to this, like all the scenes when she was a kid, she really didn't really seem to like Aiden at all. And now it's like, every other time something goes wrong, she's checking to make sure he's there. Like, I guess it's kind of like in a way, like even though she doesn't have anybody else, like she's kind of bonded with this spirit, I guess, this ethereal being. Oh no, gotta fix that. Alright, back to what we were doing. Now I guess the CIA is coming to look for her. I guess once you're a part of the CIA, they never really want you to get out. Maybe that's the thing. Honestly, I don't know. I'm not in the CIA. There's no way I could do that. Hide in the bathroom, darling. Oh, somehow she just found a place to hide. Come on now, you don't know who you're talking to. This girl can, like, well, not really float, but she can definitely get out of a window. Oh, here we go. I guess this is where the beginning comes into play, because this is the same policeman from the beginning that found her, apparently, before that little prologue thing. So it's kind of interesting that that came back. It's like a callback, I guess, but it's really interesting to see like how this story progresses, because it plays like a really interesting movie. Like it jumps back and forth, the in media res or whatever. It constantly, like now here we are back with the flashback of her childhood. It's constantly showing you like a back and forth that kind of develops the characters more and opens more their dynamic and shows more of who they are and what they're about. But see, as I was saying, like as a kid, it looks to me like more like she really doesn't really care for Aiden at all as a child. Like, I mean, he does help her out even as a child, like in the past things with like the opening of the gate so she could go for the snow to go participate in the snowball fight. But it seems to me more so than anything that when she's a kid, like she's not really as attached to Aiden as she is when she's like grown, because well at that point I think she's just been all alone by herself so long that he's really all she has. Of course, could be wrong. And now here comes that Defoe guy. See, like I said, it's interesting to see this paternalistic relationship developing between the two as well. But for him, it's more strictly like a clinical thing because I mean, he is a researcher, he is a scientist, so he's obviously trying to figure out what is going on. But I think at the same time, like they, maybe not them themselves, but somebody created her because I just get the feeling that it wasn't like spontaneous that she was bonded to another soul at birth. It just doesn't. The little flashback they had a while back when she was being born kind of makes me feel like that. That's right, girly. You go change those soiled clothes you have on. Oh, little PJs with a bunny on them. I know you're not going to sleep in the middle of the day. Yeah. Can't go to sleep without your bunny. I think it's kind of interesting that, like I said, they even put the small things in here, like children wanting, something to comfort when they sleep, like a stuffed animal or something. I mean, I'm not above all that. Like, I had a stuffed animal as a child too, so it's interesting to see that is another like layer to it because it just it makes it more believable, I guess, more relatable. Because I mean, I definitely had a stuffed animal as a child, and it just makes sense to me. Like, I like a believable story because then if it's believable, if it's relatable, then that's the kind of story that pulls you in as a player, as a consumer. It's like it engrosses you and interests you in the characters, and you develop like a real stake at like what happens to them. See, even as a kid, she's typical kid. She's scared of the dark. It's pretty interesting to see that as well. Because the older character doesn't seem like she's scared of anything, and that's probably just due to exposure, to be honest. I mean, she's been exposed to everything. Yeah, you believe that? There's no way she's gonna have a good night's sleep and nothing's gonna happen. Typical little girl, tossing and turning. Aiden's gonna read you a story? That's crazy. See, it's so funny to see the nurturing aspect of Aiden because I guess he really is like a better spirit, I suppose, because like here we go, he's giving her a bedtime story, if you will, showing her elephants on the ceiling and stuff. It's just really, it's kind of just an interesting aspect. How far can he go? Oh wow, you can go all the way out here to mess with this guy. No, I guess you can't mess with this guy. See, maybe it's actually funny to see that maybe he's not the one who's causing all these bad events around her. Maybe it's actually the fact that she's linked to another spirit. Maybe it makes it where she's like more prone for like evil spirits to get to her as well. Because to be honest, I mean, that could be that could be a viable kind of uh, option, I suppose. I mean, if you're already linked to something like this, it would make. I mean, I wouldn't say that it would make sense, but it would be possibly more likely that something else could manifest from the fact that you're already connected to something like that. I mean, let's be real. If you know, if you are in fact linked to a spirit, I would say that there's probably, I'd say it probably definitely puts you at a higher risk for other ones showing up, who are obviously not so friendly like these. It is kind of interesting to see that she even had, you know, experiences with these malicious spirits, like even as a child. It's really it's quite frightening actually. Can't imagine how terrible that would be. It also just goes to show you like how strong of a character she really is, because like she really has to go through stuff that, you know, nobody else goes through, and stuff that she can't really explain very easily. And it's just, I mean, like this thing says, it's obvious she's not like other girls. It's obvious that she is in fact different, and not in every way, but in a very large way. Oh man, here she goes looking all skeezy. This must be the rebellious phase, obviously. I can tell by the clothing. It's pretty hilarious. See, it's kind of funny to see the actual like development as like a young lady, but also the fact that she is extremely different from other people. It's like there's a side by side like pulling between these two opposing stories. Like one that, you know, she just wants to be normal, and then another one where she's just completely different and she has to do all, you know, the CIA things and all this training and such. It's a it's got a lot of dynamic to it for sure, but it's just interesting to see that pull between these two stories. Tell you what though, I'm digging that short hair on her. Looks a lot better than, well, I guess all I've seen before this was baby girly. I see that she even upgraded her guitar. Now she's got an electric one. Well, I guess if you mess it up, then you're not going to do it again. It's probably because teenage years probably get pissed off at everything. It's about right. That's right, you scream into that pillow. Pillows, I swear, take so much abuse from probably young girls. Probably young guys too. I don't know. I was never a pillow basher, but worst I've ever done was like maul somebody else with a pillow. I mean, she has really made this place her home. It's like, I guess if you have to be locked up in like a clinical setting, I guess it is nice that they offer her such comforts to like make it her own, I guess. typical teenager, hating everybody. Nope, don't sit still. That'll just make them know you're calming down. Gotta keep moving. Can't even watch TV. Must be nothing good on the telly. Although, who knows, probably at this age, she probably doesn't give a shit about stuff on the TV. I want to pick up the guitar and play the guitar a little more. Bet your ass I won't clean it up. Hell, I guess even Aiden can't get you out. I imagine there's gotta be a way. Seriously? I'm getting to the point where I'm feeling kind of caged in this little room. I need to get her out of there. I know I just broke this camera and it looks like it still works. I don't know if I believe all that. Oh, Aiden, that's right. You're gonna let him out. Man, thank God for Aiden. Getting you out of that little cage, girl. I mean, like I said, I can understand it because, you know, there's like a deep, looks like there's like a deep longing for her to, you know, want to be normal, try to be normal, and like she does make an effort. Get that badge. That's what you need. Oh, now we're home free. Gotta crane my head to kind of see around the corner just like she did. he's got like a throat cold. That's why he doesn't talk. Leave the security guard to keep nothing secure. And this is like the security guard at like the Department of Paranormal Activity or Paranormal Defense. Like you would think they would have like a pretty high security. Fuck no. Just letting niggas walk right out. Cole, let me have those keys, dog. It's funny that you clearly can't say no to this girl because she will just possess you and make you do what she wants you to do anyway. It's kind of interesting to see that. It's also funny that she sat in the back seat. See, cheers. I think she's gonna get busted. This guy didn't even give a shit. Well, at least I guess if the security in the building isn't good, at least the gate man has a good security because he wasn't gonna let her out. I guess that's why I just drove because he knew there was no chance. It's not even that she wants to go anywhere, she just wants to get away from these people. It's pretty interesting. Maybe to get something out of the trunk? Well, if he can't go forward, maybe he has to go backwards. No, I don't know. I wasn't listening, so I guess now I get to pay for it. Make Cole walk back to the CIA, I guess. Or not CIA, but the Department of Paranormal Activity. I'd say seriously, how far does he have to walk? Because it looks like they drove a good little piece down the road. It's not like he can't get off the... This, I don't understand. There's seriously like nothing for him to do. I can just get out of his body, dude. If Aiden gets out, we can just leave. No idea. part where I get to play around for 20 minutes because I wasn't listening to what they said. Fantastic. Are they out of gas or something? I don't understand. I know it's probably something so simple too. That's what it always is with me. It's always the simple things. I can't even get right. There's not like a path for him to go down or anything. That's why I don't really understand. Alright guys. If there was ever time for a hint, I think it's now. I need it. Figure out what the hell's going on. Oh. I think I just found a way. Looks like all I had to do is like walk past the guardrail, I guess. That seriously was it. See what I'm saying? It's always like the tiniest little things. Happy hour. She's going to a little girls' night. Oh my word. Isn't that funny? She's trying to be like a normal little girl. Yeah, I understand that. I'll wait and find you a table there, girly. This guy, you know he doesn't give a shit. And all these old skeezers peeping. Yeah, all she got was lemonade, dude. Calm down. She didn't even ask for nothing acidic. Well, she asked for something acidic. She didn't ask for anything alcoholic. Pretty sure there's no laws against lemonade. Last I checked, anyway. I don't. There might be some weird law about not drinking lemonade in a bar. Who the hell knows? Yeah, I'll play pool with you, strange man at the bar. About to dust that butt. Bam. I'm not telling you what I'm doing, you old perv. You could be a perv for all I know. Seriously. It's a good thing he sucks. I don't know what kind of parents you got. Seriously, man, why are there so many pervs in the world? Yeah, you better be worried about what the hell he's about to do. There goes two more. Gonna mess with Jody? Hell no, we ain't having it. You damn right it is. You skeezy pervs. Yeah, that's not the one I want. That's what you get, you old fuck. Man, Aiden is hardcore. It's like I understand wailing on the guy who was, trying to freaking rape her and shit, but I don't understand. Not everybody. I guess unless they have some kind of paranormal mind altering thing, I guess everybody was gonna have to die, but it just seems a little harsh for me. But then again, I guess, you know, he was definitely harsh to her, so. It's just kind of sorry. It's just kind of sorry that she can't have like a normal kind of growing up childhood, anything like that, just because this thing that's attached to her. But it also comes to her rescue, so I guess it's not entirely bad that it's around. Here we are, another flashback. flashback. Must be where parents just decide, hey, we're done with you. Can't 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 watch you anymore, little Jody, because you're just too much bad stuff happening around you. Come on now, don't even say that. They're not gonna come see you at all. I mean, I hate this because, nobody wants to see this kind of crap happen. But at the same time, I can understand why the parents are doing this. It's not exactly like they have the probably know-how, the skill, or, any of the qualifications to kind of deal with what Jody's got going on here. So, honestly, I guess if you're thinking grand scheme, best thing for her, this probably is the way to go, but it still sucks because, in my mind, families stick together, but I don't know, I know that's not always the case. Let's see what I can go mess up real quick. Here they go, walking away. This must be, like I said, that's why it's kind of interesting to see this paternalistic researcher kind of relationship developing here, because like she clearly has nobody else. It's like her parents kind of deserted her. I mean, they really didn't have a choice, but it is interesting to see that relationship kind of develop and blossom into what it is. Because even when she was like all alone and homeless, like the one person that she called, like if I was lost in the street and homeless, one person I called wouldn't be some researcher. It'd probably be my mama. But she called him, and it's probably because, the time they spent together, they built up this rapport, and they have like a relationship, obviously a paternalistic relationship, but they have a relationship between themselves, and it is a interesting one to see. Now here we are at some other moment in her life. Not really sure about this one. Although it's kind of funny to think about, like, from the perspective of Aiden, it would be kind of funny to, just imagine, because you wouldn't think of an entity as having an age, but if it was like an older spirit or something, just imagine being tethered to like a little, like, child all the time, because a lot of things the character does are extremely childish, and it's just, it's funny to see, because she has, growing up to do, because she has to go through all her childhood years and all that other stuff, but and then she paints Aiden as a bad image because, he's always like, doesn't really tolerate that bull. Like he'll like mess with her stuff or mess with her water bottles or something. But the thing is, maybe it's just him lashing out at the fact that she's really, childish at times and hard to deal with herself at times, because she doesn't really seem like the easiest person to get along with, obviously. like I said, she's got growing up to do. So that's pretty clear. And maybe here we go, see Iden's still helping her. So it's like, it makes me think that even though there is this spirit attached to her, maybe it's, like, I'm convinced that he's not a bad spirit, because now I'm kind of convinced that the ones that are actually making the bad stuff happen around her are the black and red kind of malicious spirits. But I'm still interested to see how they became tethered to one another. That's really what I want to know at this point. Well, I guess we can't just go get the water. We gotta go knock on this dude's door first. I guess that is the polite thing to do. It's kind of interesting to see that she's been wandering around so long. She actually wandered onto like an Indian reservation of sorts, I guess. That's right. You can't ask the young one. Indian protocol. You got to talk to the chief, the head man. Don't talk to nobody else, girl. Man, that lady looks old. They freaking put a lot of detail onto her face to put all the wrinkles on it. That is no joke. Kind of interested to see how she wandered out this far. What is this old lady's deal? Just staring so hard. She looks like she's on the brink of death. I think the fact that you have to like control like her eating and her drinking too is, like I said, it's another interesting aspect of the game, because it kind of like, oh, it's not just the act of eating, but you determine like what she eats, what she does, and all that. Like it's a real developed game as far as controller scheme and what you control. Like, that's right, man. All the Indians left to build casinos, and they left us the ranch. Christ. What are they blanketing up the walls for? Is a sandstorm or something coming? I don't understand.